Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, men's soccer continues their hot streak. We give you the details on their third straight win.
And women's soccer heads into the final weekend of the regular season off a win. We'll give you the recap from their final home game. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Kelsey Dennehy.
And I'm Joe Cronin. Kelsey, a lot of buzz in the basketball world. You going to Hoosier Stereo?
Of course I am. Who are you most excited to see, Joe?
Gucci Mane. I'm feeling like it's 2006. The Indiana football team dropped its second straight Big Ten game of the 2023 campaign as they were served a 50-piece in Ann Arbor. Check it out.
The house was more than big enough as the Michigan Wolverines weathered the storm on a Saturday afternoon as the number 2 ranked team in the country took care of Indiana in a 52-7 beatdown. There was some promise in the first quarter as the Hoosiers moved the ball down the field, made some nice plays on defense, and even used trickery to get on the board first. However, the turnovers and lack of stability at quarterback proved too much.
Well, I think there's no question that I don't think today either one of them they protected the ball very well, and I think that there's no question that you'd like to see those sustained drives, which would be important for sure. So I think there's no question we'll make a decision who we feel like needs to be the guy. I was just trying to use this as an opportunity to see who would step up and take it.
Whether rain or shine, this Michigan team delivers, and they did so with some big-time explosive plays.
Just eyes sometimes weren't in the right spot. We got the eye candy got to us sometimes, and guys were out of the gaps or letting guys go. So just cleaning that thing up and being disciplined. I think we got to stick to that. And we know how we can play, so just do that for all 4 quarters.
Defensively, third downs to me. We had several third downs where we kind of got them where we wanted them to be in regards to 3rd and 7 plus, and didn't get off the field, whether it was not containing the quarterback on the one or just our corner fell down on the one coverage, which was, we should have. I thought we had to make a chance to get off the field on that one too.
The Wolverines are as good as advertised, and besides the mishaps, giving up 7 total touchdowns and 400 yards of offense is not the recipe for success.
And they do weigh you down, and I think that's one of their strengths as a team. And if you watch them play even this whole entire season, that's kind of what they do to people.
From Ann Arbor, Michigan, here at the Big House, I'm Joe Cronin for IUSTV Sports.
The Hoosiers return to Bloomington for a homecoming clash where the pesky Rutgers Scarlet Knights march in from Piscataway this Saturday. Follow along with myself, Gwen Parks, Ben Haller, and Gabe Pontonis for all things Indiana football.
The Indiana men's soccer team is back in the win column after a successful weekend at home. Our Kara Adams has the recap.
The Indiana men's soccer team got their second win in Big Ten play this afternoon against Ohio State. Things really seem to be clicking for the Hoosiers after a tough September, losing 3 games and tying 2 games.
Honestly, if we take performances and now some of these other areas we're getting better at, we're right in the position that we want to be. Obviously, some of those ties we'd love to flip to wins, but that's not what was dealt.
Backline star Joey Mayer put the Hoosiers on the board first with a PK in the 15th minute.
Yeah, I was just happy to help the guys, happy to help the team. Hard work penalty by Sammy.
Oh, the boys are loving it. They're loving it. Confidence is definitely really, really high. Really good win streak we got going now. Feels like just everything's starting to click as we get to this latter half of the year, and I'm really, really looking forward to Maryland on Friday. Just keep up the Big Ten streak.
In the second half, Ohio State came back fighting with a goal from Dalen Velios, deflected by IU's own Joey Mayer in the 66th minute. But Indiana would not accept another tie, and Carson Henderlong scored in the 83rd minute to give the Hoosiers the 2-1 lead.
She kind of just fell off my feet. It's one of those you don't really have the time to think about it. You just gotta act, and I was able to put it in the back of the net. So obviously feels great to get another win, keep the streak going.
I'm super happy about the way we got these goals. We know we've proven we can play better. I'm not worried about performance. But yeah, that's a good sign.
Indiana improves to 6-3-4 and will head to College Park in Maryland to take on the Terrapins this coming Friday. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Kara Adams.
Indiana volleyball dropped to 15-7 on the season after falling to Purdue on Wednesday night in West Lafayette. Our Zach Browning has more.
Wednesday night, the Indiana Hoosiers traveled north to West Lafayette to take on the number 19 Purdue Boilermakers in search of the Hoosiers' first season sweep of the Boilermakers since 2002. In front of a raucous sellout crowd here at a Holloway Gymnasium, the Purdue Boilermakers came out strong in the first 2 sets, winning them both by a score of 25-22.
It's pretty fresh. We don't like losing how we lost, but it's a really hard place to win. They're a very good team. We'll learn from it. We'll get better. All the coach things I'm supposed to say about moving on, but I thought there was glimpses tonight of us playing pretty well, playing pretty tough, and they showed that they're a pretty good team, especially at home.
The Hoosiers fought back and forced a fourth set, winning set number 3 25-21. In the end, the Boilermakers were too much for the Hoosiers to handle here at home in West Lafayette, winning the fourth set in dominating fashion, 25-13.
When you're on the road, we had beaten them at home. It's a lot of it's predictable in the growth of a program. You know, would I have loved to have been better and cleaner? I thought we were really bad for 2 games and battled. I thought we were okay in game 3 and won a game, and weren't able to sustain it in game 4. But I don't know, nothing to hang our head about. It was a good match. They won 4 games this year. We won 4 games. Moving on.
Indiana is back in the friendly confines of Wilkinson Hall this weekend on Sunday when they host the Ohio State Buckeyes at home. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Zach Browning.
Coming up after the break, we crown this week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week.
And men's golf took a trip down to Florida. We'll give you the recap. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
Joining us in studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is IUSTV sports reporter William Stewart. William?
Thanks, guys. This week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week is a woman who's been on a tear since August. We're talking about the junior setter from Fishers, Indiana, Cameron Hayworth. So far this season, Hayworth picked up her 100th career service ace, becoming the 11th player in IU history to hit the 2,000 career assist mark and set IU's rally-era record for service aces with her 132nd versus Nebraska. And this week, Hayworth added 28 more assists to her career total in a sweep over Michigan. Hayworth's huge impact throughout the season for the Hoosiers thus far has earned her Big Ten Setter of the Week. And with 12 matches left on the season, Hayworth looks to continue climbing IU's all-time ranks and bringing Indiana to more victory. That's all in this week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week. Back to you two at the desk.
The Indiana field hockey team lost to number 6 Iowa 2-0 at home last Friday afternoon. Iowa applied pressure early, scoring both goals in the second period. The Hoosiers had multiple opportunities to score, recording 7 shots through the second half, but the Hoosiers were unable to put one in the back of the cage. Next, it was a battle to the end between Indiana and Ball State. Neither team could find the back of the cage in either overtime period, which led to shootouts. Ball State won the shootout, edging the Hoosiers 3-2 in converted shots. With the loss, Indiana's season record drops to 5-10. Indiana will travel next weekend to take on Rutgers at Friday, 3 p.m. and Maryland on Sunday at 12 p.m.
The Indiana women's soccer team continued their strong play in the Big Ten this past Sunday, getting a 1-0 victory over the Michigan Wolverines. Our Sam Brunsman has more.
It was a chilly but yet historic day at Bill Armstrong Stadium as the Indiana women's soccer team defeated the Michigan Wolverines 1-0. After a tight first half, the Hoosiers were able to break through in the second thanks to a Michigan handball in the box that led to a Piper Cofield goal.
I mean, it was awesome, but it was really a reflection, again, like Jamie said, of the efforts by my teammates to even be in that situation, and it was a big opportunity, and I'm just excited that I was able to take it, but really it's the work that my teammates put in to even get us in that situation.
The fun didn't stop there for the Hoosiers as junior keeper Jamie Gerstenberg recorded her 24th shutout as a Hoosier, which is now most all-time.
I don't have words for it. I mean, it is a personal award if you look at it, but it's just like a reflection on the team. I mean, even last season was really hard, but we did it, and then just the development we did, the improvement, it's just a big step. So it's a full-on team award, and I'm just like so proud of every single one.
You know, Jamie's a big-time goalkeeper. I think she's top 10 goalkeeper in the country, so I'm not surprised that she's in this position with another season left. Right, it's pretty crazy. So I'm hoping that she can keep raising those numbers. And any accolades she gets like this, I think it's a team thing, and anybody that's going to play on that team for the last couple of years.
The Hoosiers will hit the road as they take on yet another ranked opponent in Penn State on Thursday. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Sam Brunsman.
Indiana sits in a 3-way tie for second place in the Big Ten standings ahead of their last 2 matches against Penn State and Maryland.
The Indiana cross-country team traveled to Bryan College Station, Texas to compete in the Arturo Barrio Invitational in their final race of the regular season. The men finished in second out of 39 teams, and the women finished in 16th out of the 41 teams. Indiana finished with 16 personal bests on the team as Camden Marshall, Austin Hackett, Abe Ekman, and Skylar Stidman had top 25 finishes, all under 24 minutes. Junior Martin Segurola had a personal best time of 24 minutes and 10 seconds after taking 30 seconds off his last time as he earned a top 50 finish. Senior Mariah Worley earned a #1 finish in the women's 6K in her second race of the season with a time of 20 minutes and 50 seconds. Next came in Phoebe Bates with a time of 20 minutes and 55 seconds as she was the second Hoosier to cross the finish line. Next up, Indiana will travel to the University of Wisconsin on October 27th for the Big Ten Championships.
The Indiana men's golf team traveled to Vero Beach, Florida this past weekend for the Quail Valley Collegiate Invitational. Sixth-year senior Noah Gillard played his best weekend of golf this fall, finishing in 6th place overall at 10 under par. Senior Drew Salyers finished in the top 10 once again as he carded 14 birdies on his way to 8 under par. Freshman Cole Starnes converted a team-high 15 birdies as he shot 1 under par. Graduate student Thomas Hersey also shot 1 under par, leaving him tied for 36th. Junior Robert Bender III finished 1 over par, tying him for 50th. Indiana will compete in the Bearcat Invitational this Monday before the Steelwood Collegiate to close out the season.
Joining us this week to preview the weekend in Hoosier sports is Brooke Spear. Brooke?
Thanks, Kelsey. Hoosier fans, get ready because there is a busy weekend ahead of you. To kick off the homecoming weekend, Hoosier fans will get a first look at both men's and women's basketball at Hoosier Hysteria on Friday night in Assembly Hall. The field hockey team will also travel to Rutgers to take on the #4 Scarlet Knights at 3 o'clock. And the men's soccer team will travel to College Park to take on the Terrapins for an 8:30 p.m. kickoff. On Saturday, the football team will look to secure their first conference win of the season with a noon kickoff time against Rutgers. To finish up Saturday's action, you can head over to Wilkinson Hall to watch the women's volleyball team face off against the Ohio State Buckeyes at 8 p.m. On Sunday, the women's soccer team will kick off in College Park against the Terrapins at 1 o'clock. That's all for this week's athletic schedule. Back to you.
And that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports to keep up with all the latest in IU athletics. For our production crew behind us, I'm Joe Cronin.
And I'm Kelsey Dennehy. We'll see you next week.